Have you ever made this statement, or have you heard someone make a statement along the lines of, as long as my mama accepts me, I don't care about anybody else and how they feel about me being gay? If you have made that statement, or if you've heard someone make that statement, what that means is your mother's opinion of you, your mother's acceptance of you or rejection of you is priority in your life. It deeply influences and impacts how you see yourself and how you will be impacted according to how your mother views you and treats you. And if your mother does accept you because you are gay, lesbian, bisexual, or LGBTQIA+, that's absolutely wonderful. But what about mothers who do not welcome their children who are gay, lesbian, bisexual, or LGBTQIA+? How are the children of these mothers making it in life? And I may say children, meaning like you could be under the age of 18, but you may be a grown adult. You still are a child in your mother's eyes. Everybody who is a living human soul on this earth has a mother. And there are people who have very distant relationships with their mothers. And specifically in context to this video message today, I'm going to discuss how to deal with a homophobic mother. I am Giselle Wallace, lesbian life coach and author. Here on my YouTube channel, I provide my lesbian perspective, and if that interests you, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. How to deal with a homophobic mother. I first want to piggyback on the thought process that some people have when they make the statement, as long as my mother accepts me being gay, I don't care about what anyone else thinks. Usually, when someone makes that statement, they've already come out to their mother, or they know that their mother is accepting of them being a gay, lesbian, bisexual, or LGBTQIA+ person. And the reason why I know this is because they usually follow that statement with, my mom knows I'm gay and she's cool with it, and I could care less about what anyone else thinks of me. Well, I'm very glad to know that your mother accepts you. But if you only rely on how your mother treats you as a person to determine how you will view yourself or treat yourself, then you are in the danger zone. Because even though your mother accepts you for being gay, lesbian, bisexual, or LGBTQIA+, you are heavily dependent on how your mother treats you. And you still need to set boundaries with your mother, even if she accepts you. And the reason why is because even your mother can hurt you. Your mother, she can change. There are certain situations that you can find yourself in, and a mother may not be on the same page with you. And you need to know how to be able to navigate that process. Yes, she's your mother. Yes, your mother is the very first person you meet because you are in her womb upon conception until you are birthed into physical form. Your mother is very influential in your life, and she always will be. You really can't explain the relationship connection between a mother and a child. And it becomes very complex when you have a mother who does not welcome her child. So your mother, if she accepts you, that's great. But just keep in mind that you still need to know how to be your own person, even when your mother accepts you. Because people are fickle, people can change, and people can also treat you the way they decide how to treat you. And if you're not careful, even your own mother can manipulate you because she knows you hold her in high esteem and that you're very influenced by how she views you and how she interacts with you as her child. Your mother is your mother, but she shouldn't have so much power over you to where you are not able to think for yourself, make decisions for yourself, or even speak up when your mother is doing wrong. Now, this specific video is going to focus on homophobic mothers because homophobic mothers affect their children in a way that many people don't talk about. You may hear a lot about fathers being homophobic, like with their gay sons, but you don't hear too much about mothers who are homophobic with their lesbian gay daughters. And this is actually a video request. I've received requests from my subscribers to talk about dealing with a mother who is homophobic. And I know firsthand what dealing with the homophobic mother is like because my mother is homophobic. I was actually raised by my grandmother who was also homophobic. And my mother, I learned years later that she is homophobic. And it was really a huge adjustment for me. It wasn't easy. It was years and years of me trying to get my mother to understand who I was and to just see me as her daughter instead of a lesbian. But all she saw was, well, you're not like me. And when a mother makes a statement to her daughter, such as you are not like me, or where is my daughter, or what happened to my daughter, what she is basically saying is she thinks that her daughter should follow in her same footsteps of being a heterosexual woman. She doesn't understand why her daughter is a lesbian or bisexual because she pretty much believes that being a heterosexual woman is a natural state of being. And there's no other way for a woman to be except to be heterosexual. She has no knowledge about lesbianism, and she doesn't even make any effort to educate herself. Many women who are not lesbian, they have in their mind for themselves and for their daughters to get married to a man and to have children. It can be very heartbreaking for a mother to discover that her daughter is a lesbian or she's gay, because it's like her dreams are shattered about thinking of her daughter's future. She says, well, my daughter's not going to have a husband. My daughter's not going to have children. I'm not going to have grandchildren. What is the point of me having a daughter now? And that can be a very harsh statement or a harsh idea to process, that your mother may think, what is the point of me having a daughter if she is not like me, if she is not heterosexual? And a lot of this is deeply rooted in the way women are programmed in a heteronormative and patriarchal society. Most heterosexual women are very male-centered. And we as lesbians, we have to understand that our mothers don't always get along with women. You may have a mother who doesn't have women friends, or you may have a mother who is always in fights and arguments or in some type of conflict with other women, or she's always competing with other women. It's hard for us to think about our mothers in a negative manner because we esteem our mothers. We desire to have that mother-daughter bond. But many mothers treat their daughters the way they treat other women who they don't like. And that's the bottom line. I'll repeat, many mothers treat their own daughters like they treat other women who they don't like. Women are often programmed to compete against each other for other men because men know that a lot of women view them as a prize, and men will come between their wives, their fiancés, and their girlfriends. They'll come between them and their friendships with other women, because men actually know that a woman's influence is very powerful. And so as long as his woman, his wife, or whatever relationship he has with the woman romantically and sexually, he doesn't really care for his woman having close ties with other women, because if these women are very positive, if they're very uplifting, if they're spiritual and very optimistic, educated women, he loses his chance to be able to control the woman in his life. And he views other women who are good women that want to befriend his wife or his girlfriend or fiance. He views them as a threat because he doesn't want his woman to think that she is able to make it on her own without him. He doesn't want her to think that she can live without a man. And he doesn't want her to be so close to other women who are very positive, enlightened, educated women, because that's going to make him have to be a man. When a man is not challenged by a woman to be a man, then he plays all kinds of games. And one of those games is to cause conflict between women. So men will, for example, cause maybe their wife, their fiance, or their girlfriend to become jealous of other women because he's attracting other women. He's dealing with other women sexually, and he knows that causes women to turn on each other. And even deeper than that, a man can come between a mother and a daughter. You hear the stories about mothers turning on their daughters all the time for their man. It's a foul game, but it happens. And let's be real. If that man is not like your biological father and he's dating your mother, he may try to come on to you. So you have your mother with this man and he's not your biological father, and he's coming on to you. How do you deal with that man coming on to you and he knows you're a lesbian? And he knows that your mother knows that you're a lesbian and she doesn't like the fact that you're a lesbian. He can cause your mother to despise you even more by flirting with you, because now your mother is thinking that you want her man. And I know it's twisted, I know it's insane, but your mother already knows that you're a lesbian, which means that you're a female homosexual, so you have no desire to be with a man. But she still will think that you're trying to take her man from her. Oh yes, it happens every day. So even though your mother knows that you're a lesbian, even though she really knows that you're not trying to come on to her man, she still will blame you for her man coming on to you. And that man, all he cares about is the opportunity to sleep with the mother and the daughter. And the mother, she says, well, I'm not going anywhere. So she kicks you, the daughter, out of her life to keep that man around. And that man is saying to himself, mission accomplished. Because if he can break up a mother and daughter relationship, he knows in his mind he has the power. He has the control in that house. He has your mother's mind. And that's all he cares about. So if you have a mother who does not accept you for being a lesbian, this can be very deep-seated. Usually we can say, oh, it's because of religion. My mother, she goes to church every Sunday, and every other day of the week, she's really into church. And well, you know how that goes. If you're gay, if you're lesbian, bisexual, you are an abomination. Oh, it's demonic. So now you have this mother who's so holy that she doesn't know how to have a human relationship with her own daughter. And I say that holy word sarcastically because she's not living a holy life if she's rejecting her daughter. If you know God, you know how to love. So being religious to a fault can cause a mother to reject her own daughter, and she thinks that God is pleased with her behavior. So she views herself as God's child, but she rejects her own child, her daughter. You see the irony in that? You see the hypocrisy in that? And religion has really messed up a lot of people's lives, especially when it comes to the mother-daughter relationship between her and her daughter, or even her and her son. She may have a gay son. We know, if you know anything about God and how he views relationships between family members, well, he will tell you that out of your own household will come your greatest enemies. And he talks about mother and daughter fighting and turning against each other. So this is not new. Relationships between mother and daughter, mother and son, they've had their fair share of issues over time. And your mother can be your own enemy. And if you don't know that, and you're dealing with this mother who's really religious, she doesn't see that at all. She just thinks that she's doing the right thing by excommunicating her daughter and calling her daughter all kinds of names, but a child of God. She thinks that the Lord is smiling at her, but he's very angry because the Lord teaches that the mothers should love their children. So if your mother's not loving you unconditionally, well, she's not pleasing God. People say, oh, religion, but there's some women, some mothers who are not religious at all. They don't care anything about religion, faith, or spirituality, but they are still very homophobic. They don't think that being gay is natural. They think something's wrong with you in the head. In other words, they think you're crazy. Yeah, that's a stigma. We know about those stigmas about mothers viewing their children as having some type of mental illness because they're gay or lesbian. So how do you deal with this? Well, the way you deal with it is you're going to have to learn how to set boundaries with your mother. Your mother, a lot of times, she's going to treat you very disrespectfully because a lot of mothers don't think that they should respect a child. They may come from a family history of a child is to be seen but not heard. And because she's your mother, she already thinks that she knows everything, which is actually not true. But she is going to carry that type of attitude and mindset with you. And when you are in her house, you kind of got to respect her rules because that is her house. She's paying the bills. She's probably feeding you and taking care of you. But even then, it's all right to ask your mother why she treats you a certain way and to let your mother know, Mom, this hurts me. This bothers me. This makes me feel this way. And the reason why you need to do this is because you have a responsibility as a human being to teach people how to treat you. As long as you let your mother talk to you any kind of way and treat you any kind of way, she's going to continue to do it because she knows that you're not going to stand up for yourself. You have to still let your mother know how you feel when something bothers you, when something is affecting you. And the reason why is because now you've laid it out on the table. And your mother has no excuse to say, well, I didn't know that I was hurting your feelings, or I didn't know that this bothers you, or I didn't know how you thought about being gay. She doesn't have an excuse anymore because now you've opened the door to have a discussion with your mother. Now, whether she wants to really have a discussion with you, because a discussion requires 2 or more people communicating with each other. If she rejects you, if she refuses to communicate with you and listen to you, well, you've done your part. Yes, it's going to be painful and it's going to hurt, but at least you made the effort to try to talk to your mother and set boundaries with her. And if she refuses to listen to you, if she refuses to respect your boundaries, then it's going to be time for you to plan to move out. Now, if you are underage, like if you're a minor and you can't leave, there are certain situations where you're going to probably need to seek external help. And that would be if your mother is harming you physically, because unfortunately that can happen as well. If you're in a space, in a home environment that is toxic to the point where you are being physically attacked, then you need to seek outside resources so you can be in a safe environment. But if it's more so emotional, mental attacks that your mother is committing against you, then in this situation, you're going to learn how to create a safe space for yourself until you are in a position to where you are an adult and you are able to move out. I would recommend that you read books and that you find a mentor, a counselor, a life coach, a therapist to reach out to help you through that process when you cannot leave and you are with an emotionally abusive mother. You have to create outlets for yourself. Some people get involved in recreational activities. Some people join different types of support groups. You learn to develop skills that can build up your ability to be a productive young person who eventually will become an adult. We are in the information age. You can log online. If you are listening to this video message, that means you have access to either a smartphone, a computer, some type of technological device where you can get online on the internet and you can learn something. So use this time to learn and grow and expand your mind, build up your self-esteem, your self-worth. Because when you're in a home environment where people are constantly tearing you down, such as your mother who is bigoted and homophobic, you're going to have to make even more effort to help yourself, to protect yourself. And I mean protecting yourself mentally and emotionally. Now, when you even become an adult and are able to move out on your own, there's still going to be an attachment that you're going to have with your mother because she's your biological mother. So some people can physically move away from their mother, but they're still mentally and emotionally handicapped by their mother because they suffered so much mistreatment. They don't know how to live their life without their mother. So they still worry about their relationship with their mother. They still care too much about how their mother views them. And if your mother is not accepting and welcoming of you being a lesbian, gay, bisexual, or same-sex attracted person, and she knows that this bothers you, and she does not prioritize having a healthy relationship with her child. And when I say child, you can be under 18 or you can be a grown adult. She is going to continue to act out against you because you are not standing up for yourself. So this is where boundaries come in. If you are able to keep your distance, that's very good. There are extreme cases where you have to cut off your mother, and that means there is no communication with her. She cannot contact you, you cannot contact her, and you don't allow anyone else on the outside to try to get your mother to get in touch with you. There are some situations where you have to take drastic measures, and this is usually when you've been physically harmed by your mother, or if your mother is so emotionally toxic to where she degrades you every chance she gets, and you know she intentionally is trying to belittle you. She does it to you in private, and she even may go as far as doing it in public, where she humiliates you, she embarrasses you, she degrades you, and she encourages other people to do the same. Those are situations when you need to cut off complete contact with your mother. Because if you do not do so, you will be destroyed. And I mean in every sense of the word, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. It can be so dangerous for you where you can actually lose your life. So in those situations, you need to cut your mother off. But if you know how to deal with your mother to where you can create some distance and you can communicate with her when you want to communicate with her, when you're ready to deal with her, then by all means do so. And you're going to have to learn that just because your mother is against you being a homosexual or a same-sex attracted person, that doesn't mean that she has the right to try to change how you view yourself. Because a lot of times these mothers intentionally want to change you. They want you to think the way they think. Your mother wants you to be just like her. But you're going to have to let your mother know that you are your own person. Even though you came from her, even though she raised you, she fed you, she made sure she got you through school, all of that, okay, that's great. But guess what? That's what your mother is supposed to do. She's supposed to be a responsible parent because you didn't ask to be brought into this world. So don't let your mother try to overpower you and say things to you like, I did this for you and I did that for you and I did that for you. You have to speak up for yourself and you have to set boundaries. And I know that it's not going to be easy and it's going to take time. It may take years, but you can start today. It's never too late to set boundaries. And if your mother gets so angry with you about standing up for yourself, we'll let her do it. She's going to do what she wants to do anyway. But at the end of the day, it's about how you treat yourself. You have to protect yourself. And regardless of how other people see you, if they think that, oh, something wrong with you because you're gay, lesbian, bisexual, etc., just understand the way they see you is not who you are. Respect yourself. Put yourself as a priority. And that's not being selfish. That's called self-care. And believe in yourself. Because a lot of times we want our mothers to believe in us. We want to belong. That is actually a human need. But if a person is rejecting you, if a person is mistreating you, then you have to learn how to create relationships with other people who encourage you, who uplift you, who support you, who respect you, who honor you and appreciate you. You can actually create your own life outside of your biological family. I know how to do that because I've had to do that myself. I've had times where I cut off my family members. I've had times where I created distance with my family members. And I've had times where I reconciled with my family. But these are different phases and processes that you may go through or you may not go through. I understand firsthand what it's like to do all of it. Now, I wasn't physically harmed, but I went through very severe cases of mental and emotional mistreatment and even spiritual abuse. So you have to set boundaries. You have to teach people how to treat you. And you have to treat yourself kindly. I am a life coach. I coach same-sex attracted people. I coach in areas where you need help navigating the process of dealing with a family who is very bigoted and homophobic. All of my contact information is here on YouTube in the description box. and I am here for you. Be safe, prioritize your life, and always know that you are loved, even when your mother doesn't know how to love you unconditionally.